Chief AI Officer. This designation did not even existed until a few years back. But now this has become the most looked after designation on the LinkedIn and in all the Fortune 500 companies that I'm working with. Hello everyone, I'm Ankit Mathur and I closely work with large organizations in setting up their data and AI strategy, and I welcome you to our channel Flyclimb. 56% of the CEOs reported zero financial benefit in the last 12 months. You might have heard of this, that AI is not delivering the actual value which the organization want. And this has been reported by PwC in its recent survey as well. PwC reported from 4,500 companies that only 12% reported increased revenue and decreased cost of AI in the last 12 months. But what does this mean to you? Your board and your CFO, they are watching upon you. And 71% of the CIOs believe that their AI budget will see a sharp cut if they don't see the value coming out in next 1 year. The good news is that the chief AI officer role has been tripled in the last 5 years. And over 40% of the Fortune 500 companies have this position active now. And they are spending $407 billion this year alone. Despite all this, 95% of the AI pilots still fail to deliver measurable returns. So in this video, I want to walk you through the traditional aspects that we can pick up from the existing IT industry and look into 7 new unconventional paths which are not yet defined by the traditional IT industry, but they will be crucial for anybody who is stepping into the role of chief AI officer. Let's look into the traditional aspects that are still helpful, that are still relevant for the role of a chief AI officer. First point is setting up the right governance framework. Because AI is still evolving, there are a lot of decisions that your organization is yet to make. You need to set up the right formal decision making system, create approval workflows, define incident protocols so that you can take timely action and people know who is responsible for what. For this, you need to document everything in next 2 weeks. This is not an exciting and fancy work, but without it, every AI initiative becomes a political negotiation instead of a strategic decision. So go back and decide who is going to take what decisions, what is the approval workflow going to look like, and define the incident response protocols. Second point is about the AI maturity assessment. And if you have not done it yet, Gartner has defined on its website the Gartner framework for the AI maturity assessment. You can reuse that, or you can build your own maturity assessment so that before you roll out anything to production or for an internal use case, you know that it has passed the maturity assessment and it is good for you to go to the market. The third point came to me from a banking organization. I was speaking to the chief AI officer of the large US bank, and he told me that after they built the entire application, it was denied by the legal organization. So, you need to set up a clear communication, a cross functional steering committee, so that you have a communication channel to talk to legal, to finance, to operations, so that they fund it, they know how to operate it, and how to integrate it with the existing system. Set up your monthly meetings with IT, legal, HR, operations, review their proposals, allocate resources to them. They resolve conflicts before they become crisis. And this committee is the difference between building an AI in vacuum versus building AI that actually helps your organization. Now, this brings to a very important point that while your data scientist, your technical team might be able to understand what a good use case for AI look like, but you need to also educate and bring an AI literacy program in your entire organization so that your frontline executives, your operations guys understand what does AI mean to them and how can it help them to simplify and to automate their task. Set up technical upskilling for data teams, practical tools for training for the business users, and create internal certifications. Measure completion rates. This is how you will scale your AI adoption beyond your immediate team. If you can't measure it, you can't defend it, and your budgets, they will get cut. Define clear metrics across 3 dimensions. First, business outcome, revenue impact, cost saving, efficiency gains. The second is technical performance, where you get the accuracy, latency, and uptime. The third one is from the adoption metrics, where you look into the user engagement, the process integration, and create executive dashboards for the portfolio level ROI. Without measurement, you are asking your board to just trust you blindly. And with measurements, you can show them the results. Now, the next point may look a bit obvious, but it is very important for you to implement this as soon as possible. What is it? your boards, your seniors, they will start losing the patience fast, and they would like to see some quick wins coming from you as soon as possible. So what you can do to show that thing, you need to quickly automate some repetitive tasks, you need to quickly enhance some existing process and improve customer experience. But how do you do that thing? First of all, record the baseline for what is happening right now. What is the baseline of a repetitive task? How much time and effort and money does it take? How much process oriented task you are doing right now, or your organization is doing right now? Identify those things. These will build the quick win momentum in your organizations. They will prove that the AI works, and your board will start seeing the return on investment quickly. They will secure some additional investment for bigger initiatives for you. Quick wins buy you time to implement the long term real strategy which you are thinking about, right? So implement this thing as soon as possible, and then move on to the next big thing, which is to build your data foundation. Yes, your bad data will kill your AI faster than anything else. You will have to use your best model, but that is not the only thing that you will need to implement a successful AI. If your data is incomplete, inconsistent, or inaccessible, none of the LLM models, none of the AI infrastructure will matter to you. In your data domain, prioritize cleaning, integration, and cataloging of the high value assets. Establish quality standards very early, and implement monitoring of the data quality to prevent any data degradation. This is not a very glamorous task, but it is the foundation everything else will depend upon. This will bring you to the next point, which is to maintain the strategic vendor relationship. You can't build everything in house, especially when you are building at large scale. And you shouldn't try everything building by your own. Evaluate the AI platform providers, consulting firms, and technology vendors. Negotiate enterprise agreement and provide flexibility for experimentation while controlling the cost. Create a vendor management framework for your ongoing performance evaluation. The right partnership that will accelerate your roadmap. The wrong partnership will drain your budget and will deliver your nothing. So choose carefully. That's the traditional playbook for you. Execute all of these and have your credibility established in your organization. You will have the operational excellence. You will have a functioning AI program as soon as possible. But this is what everybody will do, and you will have to implement the next few steps to establish a distinguish in your role for your department and for your organization. So let's look into what are the unconventional competitive edge giving steps that you can implement and make it your secret sauce for success. The first one is to launch an AI failure showcase program. Yes, you heard it right. Create a monthly forum where teams can represent what AI initiatives have failed, allow them to give full transparency, money lost, and the lessons learned. Document everything in a searchable way. Why this works? Because it will create a psychological safety, and it will allow learning 10x faster than the success stories. Your organization will stop hiding failures, instead they will start learning from them. And this is most important for any field which is exploring so fast, such as AI. This becomes your most valuable strategic asset. Execution is in 90 days. Announce the program in the first week, host the first showcase in the first 4 weeks, and publish the failure library in the next 8 weeks. Make the attendance mandatory for anyone who is proposing new AI projects so that they can learn from it. Right? So start by showcasing the failures if it happens in your organization. And I'm sure there are many AI stories surrounding you from which others should learn. So implement this in the next 8 weeks. The next point will establish the fact that you are not making AI applications in dark. So what you need to do, you need to form advisory board for non-technical employees such as the frontline workers, the customer care representatives, the warehouse staff, and the junior analyst. They will meet you monthly. They will identify the AI opportunities. They will red flag any implementation which the executives may miss. Give them some budget so that they can experiment, and this will work because the frontline employees will see the operational friction which C suite may not experience. They will uncover the real use case that will give you an immediate ROI that the strategic planning sessions will never surface. This will invert the traditional top down approaches. You can implement this easily in 90 days by recruiting some 8 to 10 executives who will work with these frontline workers, get the feedback from them, and do it iteratively over a period of 3 to 6 months. That way, you will ensure that whatever you are building is iteratively correct to be used in the field. Now that you have looked into your organization and got some quick wins, it is time for you to look into your competitive landscape. Create your AI threat on your competitors. Spend 2 weeks by building classified intelligence on what your top three competitors are deploying. But don't do it from the press releases that you see and from any other obvious information. Look into their job postings, look into their patent filings, look into their vendor partnership, look into their customer reviews mentioning AI features. What are they liking and what are they not liking? Identify the 2 3 AI capabilities that they are building on that could make your current strategy obsolete. Present this to your board as a strategic vulnerability assessment. This will work because this will shift your focus from technology implementer to competitive intelligence strategist. Now you are not just building AI, but you are building AI that will create competitive moats. This can be executed in 90 days by assigning one analyst to the research in first week and create a competitive dossier in the week 3. The board presentation can be done in the 5th week and the strategy assessment that can be done in the 8th week. This way, you will be ahead of your competitors and building the AI at the industry level. But this is not it. While you are doing all these things, you might end up creating a technical debt. What is the technical debt? Inventory every AI model which is in production today. Calculate its decay rate. How fast is it becoming obsolete due to data drift, regulatory changes, better alternatives available? Assign each model a retirement date and a replacement cost. Why will this work? Because most organizations have no idea they are running a degrading model until a catastrophic failure will happen. This will create a forward looking AI portfolio management. You will prevent accumulation of zombie AI systems happening in future. This can be again implemented easily in 90 days. You can calculate the complete model inventory that you have got, calculate the decay rates in weeks, and assign retirement date or assessment date bare minimum on which you can do a present portfolio health report at the end of 2 months. Great, isn't it? Next is to build a regulation arbitrage map. You will be building your AI applications for a particular industry, for a particular region. So if you are building for Europe, you will be taking care of the EU AI Act. If you are building it for US, you will be taking care of the state level US laws. And similarly, there will be the sector specific rules that will be applicable to your AI applications. So develop the compliance framework to scale them globally. And this will work because the regulatory complexity that will transform from constraint into competitive mode as you build more number of AI applications. You can develop capabilities competitors can't even touch for the next 18 to 24 months. The next will be to teach your CFO. Yes, the next strategy, which is strategy number 6, will be to launch an AI economics 101 for your CFO. Develop a 3-hour specific workshop targeting your CFO office and the finance team. Explain why AI economics work fundamentally different than the traditional software. The marginal cost don't approach zero. The inference cost that will scale the usage. And model training is capex, but fine tuning is opex. Yes, you will have to teach those things to the CFOs. And when your CFO, they will understand AI economics, the budget conservations, the transformations from the skepticism to the strategic partnership will change. This will unlock the funding for the initiatives that the traditional ROI models would otherwise kill. So do this thing in the next 2 months, schedule a meeting right now and start building that workshop right now. This brings me to the last point to create an AI provocation protocol. And this one is brutal because you will have to establish quarterly exercise where you bring in external AI expert or academic expert to spend 2 hours, 3 hours challenging your AI strategy. Give them explicit permissions to be brutally critical with your strategy. Ask them to challenge you. Record these sessions and share the edited version with the leadership. And this will institutionalize the intellectual humility. It prevents echo chamber that affect your AI strategy. The discomfort that this will create, it will transform into amazing capabilities that you will develop. To do this, you will have to start planning these sessions ahead of the time, start booking time of these experts and record these sessions. That's all the 7 strategies that you can implement and make a differentiation in the strategy that you are following versus your competitors are following. That's all from my desk on talking about the traditional as well as unconventional path of becoming a chief AI officer or the role which is equivalent of this. The question is whether you have time to implement this or not. The question is whether you can afford to implement such changes and become the poster boy in the AI industry. Your competitors, they are moving, regulations are getting tightened, and the technology is accelerating faster than ever. 71% of the chief information officer expect that the budget will cut if they don't show the result by the end of 2026. They will be the ones who will build the strategic capabilities nobody else has imagined. You have 90 days. What are you building?